Some really, really cool chilies tonight. These are chilies I've never heard of before until just recently, and then was, lucky enough to get my hands on some. Again, these were grown by Corey Cadell. It's another pod he's growing. Look at these things. Just absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous chilies. So this is a PeppaPeach Stripey, and it comes from the PeppaPeach pepper, and it was from an isolated grow from somebody named Matt Lawton. In 2021 he discovered this particular variant, the stripey version, off of one of his PeppaPeach plants. Now we have the PeppaPeach Stripey. Gorgeous, gorgeous peppers. So from what I understand, they're mild heat. And I also learned today that the PeppaPeach, also known as a Peppadew, was created by Chris Fowler in the UK, Wales, UK. And the PeppaPeach, so the derivative of this pepper, comes from another Chris Fowler creation, which was the Sugar Rush Peach. We all know the Sugar Rush Peach to be just a phenomenal chili, flavor, good medium heat, but outstanding, beautiful flavors, and gorgeous, looks to the peppers. And then of course now you also have the PeppaPeach, or the Sugar Rush Stripey. So I guess that the PeppaPeach, which is where this originated from, was a derivative of the Sugar Rush Peach, but it was bred for different characteristics. So, and I don't know if I've ever had a PeppaPeach. I don't think I have, because when I saw these peppers, the name Peppa, using it and spelling it P-E-P-P-A, that was like kind of new for me, right? So I don't think I've ever had one of those. But interesting background to this chili, where it comes from, the whole PeppaPeach. Now you have a PeppaPeach Stripey, as which ultimately they're all coming from the Sugar Rush Peach, which there's also a Sugar Rush Peach Stripey. These peppers tend to be a little bit more orange than like a Sugar Rush Peach. Sugar Rush Peaches to me are more of a pinker shade, if you will, right? But excited. This is a new chili for me. I'll show you each of these. He sent me a few of them. That one was just like one of the best looking, I thought, as far as having just one whole side, kind of that peachish orange, yellow, and then you can really see it there, just straight cut in half. And then it's got little dots and stuff. Cheers, friends. Wow. Oh my gosh. The inside of the pepper is just completely cut in half as well. Guys, this is that one's for the birds. That is better than a Sugar Rush Peach. Quite a bit better, in my opinion. Wow. Holy cow. Here's another one. Very similar to that first one, just kind of half and half. This one's a little bit hotter. Quite a bit hotter, actually. This one right here, as opposed to that first one I just ate. Still that same fruity, citrusy flavor. Not citrusy, I'm sorry. It's fruity. This one's a little citrusy, I would say, though. It's just lighting up the front, the very tip of my tongue right now, though. Wow. Another one. Beautiful. It was a very interesting chili. They're kind of kicking off different flavors. This is more like an actual fruit flavor to it. Holy cow. This one here, a little bit sour, fruity sour a little bit, but still absolutely delicious. Guys, this is a phenomenal chili. This is the definition of a snacking chili. He sent me 4. I don't know, these to me tasting kind of like they're maybe 100,000. Let's go, maybe. They're about as hot as the Sugar Rush Peach, I believe. Great crunch. It's a thick-walled pepper, you know. Now this one's back to being really sweet, whereas that third one I ate, the one right before this, had a little bit of that sourness to it. It was the only one that had that. This doesn't have that. They've all had the same underlying notes to them, the same heat to them. The second one was the hottest of all of them, but all the same kind of underlying heat and flavor profile and flavor tones, with just slight distinct differences. Wow. These had like habanero level heat, they'd be the perfect chili. Whoa. There she is. That was the last one for the birds. We'll let Tree stay, I guess. Anyway. Wow. PeppaPeach Stripey. Who'd have thought? You know what I'm saying? I'm just starting to get just maybe a little trickle in the nose, but overall, not much heat to those. Um, but an enjoyable, snackable heat. You know what I mean? I could just keep eating those things. You know, I mean, they're just that good. The heat on them, they're not really building upon themselves, if you will. I bet it would, you know, build upon itself a little bit if you ate enough of them, because you'd get those random hotter ones. Like, of those 4 chilies that I just ate there, that second one was by far, not even a question in my mind, superiorly hotter than the first and the last 2. Like, hands down, you could tell the difference. And then the third chili was probably the least, you know, my least favorite as far as the overall flavor, because it did have a little bit of that sour tartness to it. But again, it wasn't terrible. Again, it's just a phenomenal chili. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's just, you have to experience it to understand what I'm talking about. Like, it's just if you've had a Sugar Rush peach, it's very similar. It's almost the same, I would say. But I think this one beats it out. I really do. I think it has just a little bit more sweet, fruity notes to it than what the Sugar Rush offers. The Sugar Rush now is a larger chili in general. It's much more elongated, as opposed to these are a little bit, you know, more of a ball shape, UFO shape, cone shape, whatever you want to call it, like a triangle in a way. But it's a phenomenal pepper. The heat's pretty much kind of all dissipated by now. You know, like I said, it wasn't much to it. It might be 50 to 100,000, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe somewhere in there. I mean, they've got warmth. They've got a little bit of heat. I can feel it on my lips, in the corners of the lips here, really, which is odd. And then just right on the very, very tip of the tongue, just directly in the middle, right on the tip of the tongue. That's it. That's all I got it. Anyways, everybody, hope you have a good Thursday. The weekend's almost here. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, with another pepper review. Again, that pepper was grown by Corey Cadell. Phenomenal growers. The second box of pods I've gotten from him, man, and I just can't say enough. His chilies are fucking phenomenal. The phenotypes. You know how sometimes you'll get a box of peppers, or you'll get some peppers from a grower or this or that, and you're looking it up, maybe it's a chili you're not familiar with, and you Google search it or whatever, and you find in some pictures of that particular chili. And sometimes now, and again, chilies can be off a little bit, right? Like, and you know what I mean? And I trust all the growers that I get pods from on a regular basis. And when I say regular basis, if I've bought from you, or you've gifted me pods more than twice, I trust you. And but sometimes you look up a pod and you go, it doesn't quite look like what this pod that I have in my hand, even though this is a very trusted grower in the community, in and around the chili families and people, whatever you want to call it. And so, you know, you're like, whatever. And it packs the same amount of heat and this and that. It just doesn't look the same. It's off a little bit. But Corey's pods, I have to tell you, that look identical to the first Google searches that come up. And generally those are, you know, true phenotypes of what a pepper should be. Again, and so I just can't rave enough, man. Really good peppers, from the flavors to the heats to the variety that he's got, that he sent me. So anyways, I'm gonna done blabbing. I appreciate everybody watching. It's been your #1 hot sauce guy. We'll see you later.